This one I know a lot of moms and a lot of people aren't going to agree with, but I have to put it on here. Hey everyone, it's Courtney. I do everything motherhood, pregnancy, and lifestyle on a budget on this channel. So if you like those types of videos, make sure you give this one a thumbs up and that you are subscribed. This is video number 3 in my Baby on a Budget series. I will have that link down below. Basically, I'm sharing the whole process of finding out when you're pregnant to when you have the baby, all the way up to their first year, including expenses, and how to do all of that on a budget. So make sure you check that out down below. Today's video is going to be about baby registry do's and don'ts, and ultimately how to save some money on your registry. I do have an entire list of do's and don'ts. They're not in any particular order, so let's go ahead and get started. Number 1, and this one seems so simple, is don't spend more than you can afford. When it comes to a baby registry, your instinct is to just get everything brand new, especially like the high-tech gadgets and, you know, the newest model of the newest crib or the newest toy. If you honestly can't afford it, then you shouldn't be spending money on it. Number 2 is plan on paying for everything on your registry yourself. So even if you plan on having a baby shower, or you know that you have friends and family that are going to be giving you gifts or helping you out on your registry, go into it expecting to pay everything yourself. By paying for everything yourself, it just helps you focus on your needs versus your wants. In my first pregnancy, I didn't live in the same state as my family, and so we had to pay for everything on our registry ourselves. And because of that, we actually ended up saving a lot of money by just getting the things that we knew we absolutely needed. Number 3, just because it's popular doesn't mean you need it. I have seen so many registries and so many popular items of things that really just don't make sense to have, and 9 times out of 10 you can find that item a heck of a lot cheaper in a different brand. And I'm not necessarily saying that everything that's popular is super expensive, but if you do go on like popular baby registries, I will say that majority of the things on there, like the cribs and just the carriers and just the brands that they're sharing, are a little bit on the pricier side. Just be aware if you are a first-time mom and you see all these popular items, you don't necessarily need them. So just do your research. Number 4, don't buy everything new. It's not worth it. There are going to be things on your registry that you really don't need to pay full price for. I'm going to be doing an entire video on this, but just as an example, a baby swing. Our daughter ended up hating the Mamaroo that we ended up paying for almost full price. And she ended up loving the swing that we got secondhand that we didn't even want. It was just in a bundle. And that's what she ended up using. So I would just highly recommend doing your research and seeing what you could get secondhand and what to get new. Along with that, number 5, cheaper is not always better. I noticed with my first baby that I kind of went cheap on a couple of items, thinking there's no way I'm going to spend that much money on this product. And let me tell you, that was not always the case, especially when it comes to diapers and wipes, which I touch on that in another video in this series. Cheaper is definitely not always better. Again, goes back to just doing your research or just experimenting and seeing what works for you. The next one is when you create a registry, have it on private for yourself. So when you create your registry, keep it on private or create an entirely different one that is just specifically for your eyes only, because you're gonna have a lot of items on there that you, at the end of the day, really don't want as gifts, or you just don't want people to purchase for you. An example of that being maybe a nipple butter or breast pump parts or things that you may or may not want later on. So you just don't want to have all of that public to your friends and family, because if they see that, they're probably more than likely going to get that for you. So I would just highly recommend having one on private for yourself, and then I would have one that's public with things that you know that you absolutely are going to need and that you're absolutely going to want. The next one is buying everything too soon. If you find out you're pregnant and you go out and buy your entire registry before you even have a baby shower, or before you even have a chance to share with your friends and family your registry or what you actually need, then they don't have anything to get for you. And also along with that, you might end up changing your mind. But if you change your mind about what actual pack and play or crib that you want, you're stuck with the one that you already have and you can't get the one you actually want. So I would just highly recommend not buying everything too soon for those reasons. The next one is don't put things on your registry that you plan on getting secondhand. If you have to, I would put it on your private one. I personally have things on there that I know that I'm going to need to get, but I know I'm going to get secondhand, so I'm not going to have that on a public one that my friends and family can see, because then your friends and family might actually buy that item for you at full price. And it's kind of a bummer at that point because you know that you could have gotten it cheaper, secondhand, and also it kind of takes away from another gift they could have gotten you that you actually need on your registry. This one, I know a lot of moms and a lot of people aren't going to agree with, but I have to put it on here. Do not put diapers and wipes on your registry. Diapers and wipes are something that's going to be an ongoing cost, and you need to factor that in outside of a baby registry. My tip would be to do a diaper drive at your baby shower or your sprinkle or whatever you're having, whether you're a first-time mom or a second-time mom. It also kind of forces you to start budgeting for how much diapers and wipes are going to be costing you every month, so you can just get used to that expense up front. And another reason you don't want to put diapers and wipes on there is because as a mom, you're going to find out real quick what brands you like and which ones you don't. So again, just refrain from putting them on your registry for those reasons. The next one is just to focus on the first 3 months of baby's life when it comes to your baby registry. Since I personally had to pay for everything myself on the baby registry, it allowed us to not have to do such a big lump sum up front trying to buy everything that we thought the baby was going to need the first year, and instead just focused on those first 3 months. Because let's be real, Amazon Prime is amazing. The stores are like all around us, and if you really desperately needed something bad enough, you could either order it online or go out and get it. Another reason to not focus past the 3 months is because you might not necessarily know what your baby needs. Every baby's different. They may love that $150 play gym that you get for them, or like my child who didn't really like anything baby toys or any baby accessories, just loves sitting on the couch propped up with some pillows. So I would just recommend, especially if you are a first-time mom, to just kind of focus on that, unless again it is bigger items like a high chair. This is just a really good tip to follow if you want to save some money immediately as well as in the long run. The next one, and this one is super fun, is just put whatever you want on your registry first and then go back in and refine and research on each product. When I found out I was pregnant with baby number 2, I just went on Baby List Baby Registry, went on there and just put everything that I saw that I thought was either cute or that they might need. And then you can go back in and just kind of refine and see what's actually worth getting and what isn't worth getting. So your registry does not have to be perfect, especially in the beginning. Have some fun with it. I highly recommend doing that because you're having a baby. It's super exciting. So just go all out and then just go back in and refine and figure out what you actually need. The next one is research is key, especially with big ticket items. I did a lot of research with my first baby, and it was more about what everyone else was suggesting, not necessarily what I already knew that I wanted to get, and then researching those products. So for example, I have been probably researching double strollers for a good 6 months now, and I'm due in less than 3 months. I finally figured out what stroller I want. I finally figured out what bassinet I want. And again, luckily I had a lot of things from my first pregnancy, but I was living tiny. So we didn't really get to keep a whole lot of the stuff. It was more of she used it. If she outgrew it, we had to get rid of it. But thankfully, some of the bigger ticket items I did keep. So again, don't rush into buying anything. Take your time, figure out exactly what you want and what brand, and see if you can get it secondhand, if you want to get it secondhand. Basically, just do research. It's going to save you a lot of money in the long run. The next one is take advantage of registry discounts and coupons. A lot of registries, just for signing up, will send you free stuff with tons of coupons in it. So personally, I've gotten Target and Amazon welcome boxes, and they've had tons of discounts and gifts on there that I used on my first registry. This time around, I am using Baby List because it's so much easier, and you can add stuff from any website and it's all in one place instead of having 5 different ones. And some of them even have a completion coupon, which I know Amazon does. If you get all of your stuff by a certain date or before a certain date, they give you an extra percentage off. I think it's 10%. And another really good one is Bye Bye Baby. They have 20% off discounts all the time. They have a 15% coupon on there, and I think it's a completion coupon that you can put on anything. So definitely put that like towards bigger ticket items. So that's just a few examples of just some discounts and coupons that you can take advantage of when it comes to your registry, so you're not paying full price and ultimately saving money. The next one is approach your registry like you're not gonna have a baby shower. I had mentioned before, I didn't have one and I had to pay for everything myself. So this just puts you in the mindset of really making sure you get what you need versus what you want, and ultimately, again, save some money. Another big one, and this one again is kind of hard, but if you're not sure they're gonna need it, don't get it. Just wait. As a second-time mom on my registry, I have plenty of things on there that I know that she may or may not need, so I'm keeping them on there just in case I need to jump on Amazon Prime and order it real quick, because I know it'll be there in a couple days. So this is just really key with saving you some money in the long run. The next one is don't put all expensive things on your baby registry. Try and hit all the different price points for your friends and family, because there are items you need that are a little more expensive, like a stroller or a crib or a carrier or whatever it may be. Make sure that you are also hitting other price points so everyone feels like they can get you a gift and get you something. The next one is try to have everything done and bought by your third trimester, specifically 36 weeks. With my first pregnancy, I had everything ready to go by 36 weeks just to be on the safe side, and then I didn't have to worry about it, especially at that point you get pretty uncomfortable and you don't really want to do anything anyways. This time around, I am going to be 36 to 37 weeks during Christmas time, and I'm not going to be in town. I'm going to be about 8 hours away with family. So I'm making sure I have everything by 34 weeks, as well as the fact that the holidays are coming up and are going to be going on. And there's not a guarantee that all of this stuff is going to get here in time. So I'm just giving myself an extra 2-week grace period to make sure that I have everything. The next one is budget the amount you need ahead of time. So what I mean by this is once you create your registry and you refine it and you figure out what you're gonna get secondhand and what you're gonna get brand new, going in with the mindset that you're buying everything yourself, add it all up and see how much you're gonna be spending. This could easily fluctuate when you actually go and buy stuff. It could be more, it could be less. And I do talk about in another video how to budget and plan for those unexpected expenses, so make sure you check that out. But ultimately, going in ahead of time and knowing how much it's going to cost will show you if you can actually afford it and not surprise you at the end of your third trimester when you get this big expensive bill saying how much you actually spent on your registry. This next one is so important. Go in the store and touch and feel everything, especially if you're a first-time mom and you have no idea what pushing a stroller is like, or carrying a baby, or a car seat. I would just highly recommend going in to like Bye Bye Baby. I think that that's the best place to go because they have everything on display, and they also have like little sack things that weigh as much of a baby that you can like put in a car seat, in a carrier, to just kind of give you an idea of what it's going to feel like. And by doing this, it really helps you get a visual of what you're actually ordering online. I personally wish I would have done this with my first pregnancy. I honestly just ordered everything online, or anything I bought was through Marketplace, so that was online as well. And I ended up regretting and not liking a lot of the stuff I ended up getting. So if I would have just went in store and actually saw it in person, I probably would have changed some of my purchases. The next one is find out return policies. So if you are getting an item that you're not sure if you're gonna actually need or like or want, just make sure you know your window of time to be able to return those items, so you're not stuck with an item that you're not gonna use and then you can't use that money towards something you actually need. I know a lot of items through Amazon give you up to a year to return, which is crazy, but just make sure wherever you're getting it, keep your receipts and just look into how much time you have to return it if that may be the case. The next one, if it's gonna last you longer than a year, well into the toddler years, it is worth the money. Whether it's something expensive or not expensive, I would just highly recommend investing in items that you know that you're gonna use past a year. As a first-time mom, I know that can be kind of hard to figure out what those items are, and I actually did a video on that I will have linked down below as well. All these items I still use with my toddler. She's 1.5, and we use them every day from day one to now. So again, that comes down to doing your research and figuring out how often you are going to use something. Another one is if you plan on having multiple kids, factor that into your registry. I know that seems crazy going into it. If it is your first baby, you're already thinking down the road to another one, but I wish I would have done this because I knew we wanted to have another kid, and I wish I would have invested in a stroller that would have been modified to a double stroller ahead of time, because now I'm in a situation where her stroller is just not compatible and it's not going to work, and I have to buy a whole new one, and that's super expensive. So just keep that in mind if you plan on having multiple kids. Go into items, especially bigger ticket items that you plan on using or keeping for baby number 2 with that mindset. Okay, the last one, and this one again, I might get some controversy on, but don't put clothes on your baby registry. I know this is super difficult, especially if you see all these cute ones, but I would just highly recommend keeping that either on your private list or ultimately get stuff secondhand because they grow so quickly. And also, family and friends, 9 times out of 10, they are going to gift you clothes regardless of if it's on your registry or not, because that's like the cutest and most fun thing to get for someone. So personally, most of the clothes that we got that weren't secondhand are all from family. Another tip with that, if you do put clothes on there, make sure they're not newborn. The only newborn clothes that I have on my registry is our baby's coming home outfit. So that is my list of baby registry do's and don'ts. I hope it was helpful. If you have any tips yourself, comment those down below. I would love to know, and I'm sure other moms would love to hear as well. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and make sure you are subscribed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!